everyone, this is Geeky Vices with J-Belle, where I talk about random bits of geekdom and a pop culture that I've been into lately. So generally actually not generally, these videos are always unrehearsed, unedited, and totally unhip. I just go with whatever my general whim is for that week. And just to forewarn you guys, there are sometimes spoilers. I try being spoiler light, like try not going into anything beyond like getting the series set up. But yeah, just to forewarn you guys, there might be spoilers. So if you want a totally pure experience, maybe watch my video after you enjoy the content. Anyways, give you guys a little hint of what I've been into lately based off the shirt. So I'm going to be talking about How to Train Your Dragon. Not just How to Train Your Dragon 3, which just came out in theaters, which I enjoyed, and I watched the first chance I got. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the series, which I've been further watching lately. So let me start off with the series. So I own the bits of the series, the Riders of Berk and the Defenders of Berk, that came out before the Netflix ones did, like the ones that were in Cartoon Network, and these were really well timing because we bought these during a very dark period in our life where basically we had just a major life event, and our living situation was very temporary, and it was just a tough situation. So this was just kind of a nice happy little boost that we would just binge watch. So yeah, as I said, we own the series on DVD. I probably should have grabbed those for a demonstration. I think I can do that real quick. Give me one sec, guys. I am within reach, I promise. Yes. So, yes, for visual aids, Riders of Berk. It's horribly glary in this light. Riders of Berk Part 2, which is also horribly glary. There we go. Defenders of Berk Part 1, with the screaming death. And then Defenders of Berk Part 2, where you can see the skrill behind them. So, yeah. Anyways, as I said, I'm a big fan. I've only just finished watching all the discs I actually own. Like, it took me a long time to get to this point. But yeah, we finally did it. And then we've only just started watching the Netflix series. Like, we're going to keep on binge watching. I was just trying to get kind of psyched up for the third movie coming up, which every time I watch the trailer, I'd be tearing up because I knew no matter what happened, I was going to be sad at the end because I knew it was the conclusion. And this is a franchise I love. I should have grabbed this my other visual aid. Like, years ago, we actually went to they had the How to Train Your Dragon Live Spectacular, where they had like these amazing animatronics. Like, they had like at least like 3 different ones for Toothless, and like some of them would be up in the air, some of them would be on the ground, and yeah, it was great. The only one that didn't look anything like the actual dragon was the Monstrous Nightmare, because it's kind of hard to do. I think that wing design where it's like walking on its. So that one looked more like a traditional dragon. And I will say it was funny how they were making fun of themselves, because they were saying how they were defeating the dragons through choreographed dance. But yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, like I said, I'm a huge fan of this franchise. Like, sometime I'm probably gonna get a Toothless stuffed animal. Like, I want one. I used to have a pound puppy as a kid that, like, it was this poodle one that, like a superhero, but basically, like, its teeth looked normal one way, and then, like, he flipped up the fabric, and, like, it had the growly teeth. And I want something like that with my future Toothless doll someday down the line. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going to bother getting that visually because that's not within reach of the cord, and also because, like, my program, and also because my camera quality isn't that great, so you guys wouldn't actually be able to see too well what I'm holding up anyways. I know it's grainy, but hey, these are just for me. You guys just happen to enjoy the byproduct of me just talking to myself. So yeah. But yeah, so I've been enjoying the series a lot. I think how both the first season's Riders of Berk ended was great. I think that the way the second one, it was really great. Like, it could have ended solidly right there and it would have been fine, but the fact they got picked up by Netflix and continued was great. And the interesting thing is, like, the significant other kept me like, oh yeah, that's not gonna continue. It's not gonna continue off where the previous series did when we got to Race to the Edge. I was trying to remember the name of it because they all have a little bit different names. But no, it literally jumps in like right afterwards. I mean, it skips forward 3 years, but like basically it assumes you've been keeping up. Like it has Dagger. It's like the part we leave off is actually when Heather, we're in the middle of Heather's return. I don't know if she returns more than once, but like Heather, this is the first time Heather's ever returned since first season. We just finished the first episode, the 2-episode arc, but yeah, so that gives you a bit of a gauge. But yeah, it's interesting how the animation quality has definitely gone up, and I think it feels a little bit tighter. Like the pre-Netflix ones were great, but you can definitely tell it's got a better budget, so it feels a little bit tighter and cleaner as far as the storytelling, and it's good. And also, like, I think it kind of like the story was getting ready to outgrow Berk, so I think it was kind of cool that they were able to do this, and they're going to keep on introducing dragons. Although since I own the discs for seasons, they'll talk about like dragons that are going to appear in an upcoming episode. I can't remember the name of it, but like in the last disc, like the second disc of the second season, it implied that there was going to be this 4-headed dragon that seemed like it was plant related. So I'm curious if that's going to show up. I don't remember the name of it because there's so many names. I mean, I can barely keep up with them, but the show continues to be great. Yeah, if you like the movies and you enjoy anime things, like the series is definitely solid. Like I definitely recommend it. If you can watch the pre-Netflix ones first, like that'll give you more of a basis. I think I'm enjoying it more because I have watched it. I think there are things that you might have skipped out on. Like you wouldn't know who Tornado is and why. And which is good for me to know what happened. I'm glad I finished watching them because I'm glad I know what happened to Tornado, because I remember watching the second one, like being like, wait, what happened to Tornado? Why is Stoic have this other dragon? So yeah, there's things where it makes more sense, and I think it's like you kind of see the buildup of them getting some of their gear that appear. So like I feel like it rewards fans a little bit. But yeah, so I've been enjoying it. As I said, I haven't gotten very far into the Netflix one because there's so many seasons, but hey, it takes me a long time to start watching anything between my rewatching of The Great British Bake Off yet again, or some of my other impulses. And it's also one of those things like where it's like me purposely trying to watch it with the significant other rather than just watching by myself. So that means it's just gotta mean that we're both synced up for feeling up for that. But anyways, on to How to Train Your Dragon 3, which was the whole reason why I've been in this whole binge watching lately. So as I said, the trailers, every time I would start tearing up, like not hardcore tearing up, but like I would feel like my throat would tighten. I would feel a little bit of tears in my eyes, and like I'm not a movie crier, but like I could feel it. Although I do remember crying at the second movie, because yeah, anyone who's seen the second movie knows why. I'm not gonna spoil that, but yeah. But the third one, I will say overall I enjoyed it. I think it's definitely the conclusion. Like it definitely is letting you know that this is the final movie. They're not going to keep on coming out with more and more like they did with some of the other Dreamworks franchises. Like, I remember there was supposed to be, like, I remember the third Trek was supposed to be the last one, and then they changed the name. It was supposed to be the final chapter, and then they changed it to Forever After, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's finished, versus, like, something like Kung Fu Panda. I could picture them still coming out with another one, which, that is another great Dreamworks series of movies. Although I haven't been watching any of the series because I admit the premise doesn't get me as excited, but yeah. But as I said, like this is the conclusion. You know, they're not going to be coming out with more movies after this, and I think it pays proper respect to that. Like I think the ending is not what I saw happening. But it makes sense. I'm glad that they had that one last scene, because if they didn't, I would have been so upset. Let's see. I wish that they hadn't spent quite as much time showing the courtship between Toothless and the Light Fury, because I kind of wish there had been a little bit more time for some of the characters that have been with us through the entire series, like Snotlout and Fishlegs barely get any screen time. Then like not less amount of screen time is on par with Eret, son of Eret. You know, and like he's only been around since the second movie, so it's like he's versus not less been with the series from the very, very beginning. So yeah, I just not so sure why they're giving him that much screen time, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I like that. The villain was interesting, but I feel like there's a lot of suspension of disbelief how is a thing how he managed to do what he was able to do with the dragons. Just because the second one, like the villain, it made sense why he was able to do, like why he was able to control the dragons. The second one, I'm like, well, couldn't someone else just jump in? Like, why is it making it so they're susceptible to you specifically rather than just being suggestible in general? But I did like how the spouse pointed out that that he is pretty much what Hiccup could have been if Hiccup had killed Toothless in the beginning. Like, if he had killed a Night Fairy, like, basically the darker path that he could have gone down. Because, like, he is kind of similar to Hiccup in that he is, like, he is a thinker and a strategist, and he's more wiry and agile kind of fighter rather than just being straight brute strength. So it's like he is kind of like the dark Hiccup. So I thought that was a very interesting concept, and I can see that. I would say he's not as strong of a villain, but he does the job. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, also the dragons he uses totally make me think of Joanna from The Rescuers Down Under. If you haven't seen that, such an underrated like classic 90s Disney movie, so good. The animation still holds up so well, beautiful. But anyways, Joanna is the villainous like lizard that the main bad guy uses. So yeah, but anyways, I don't know if it's just because they're based off of a similar kind of lizards, if they were referencing that, or if they just happen to have the same kind of like bug-eyed, like joyful, crazed hunger look. But yeah, I totally got flashbacks to that from the design from them, especially during one scene where like they're trying to get out of this cage, like metal chain cagey area. I don't know how to describe it quickly, and I'm not going to bother for the words. But yeah, let's see what else. I did like the big dragon they introduced that like was basically the protector of Meat Legs, the name of Meat Legs' child. So it's clearly the child's name is it's a Fish Legs was the father of Meat Legs' child. But anyways, Meat Legs. But yeah, Meat Legs makes a great friend. I wish I could remember the name of that dragon, but that one's a great little new introduction. But I will say with the way the series or the movie ends, I do have some suspension of disbelief. Like especially since I've watched the series, I'm like, I don't think it could have happened like that in one clear swoop, like they're saying. Like I think there's still plenty of stragglers out there. Is all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that's all I'm gonna say. I just have a hard time getting over that, and I had a hard time getting over the way that I said the villain controlled the dragons, and also the warlords just kind of felt tacked on as a thing. But yeah, I do love Astrid and Hiccup were great together. That's like they're one of my favorite movie couples, and I'm glad that that's one thing that's always been kind of cool about the series. Like they don't infantilize the main characters. Like yeah, they started off as being like young, like as teenagers, and then like the second movie they're 20s, but like they do keep on aging up, but they still feel young and approachable, but like they're not keeping them in a perma-child situation. Like the fact that like this movie, like Gobber keeps on like mentioning like, hey Hiccup, when are you and Astrid gonna get married? And Hiccup's like, let's change the subject. So yeah, and yeah, it's definitely, as I said, it's worth watching if you're a fan of the franchise. It's gonna be you're gonna feel a little bit sad with the way it ends, but it's appropriate. It's an appropriate finish to it. I would say it's the weakest of the three movies, just because like I would say the second one's my favorite. Like even though that one's by far the saddest, like the second one I think is my favorite visually, music, everything. The first one did such a great job establishing everything. It's like that one's also wonderful. But yeah, it's hard to keep everything at the same level. I mean, I mean, DreamWorks has done it where like all three of them are solid. I mean, I definitely think with Kung Fu Panda franchise, like all three of them are pretty equally solid. Like I wouldn't say there was like one weaker one of them. And that's not to say that, as I said, with How to Train Your Dragon, it's not to say one is bad like, compared to the others. It's just it's not as strong. So yeah, those are my overall takes. Like I said, I was really trying hard not to be spoilery, so nothing major, but still giving my general gist of it. So yeah, hopefully you guys will go out and see it. It's as far as it should still be in theaters by the time this video goes up, and should be out for a little while longer because like it's such an epic franchise. Go see it. All right. Anyways, enjoy your own geeky vices. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye. While I find the mouse. There we go.